Honorable judges and fellow teachers, my name is Angel and I'm Team 10. Today I'm going to introduce my business project. It is a website called NetDrobe, which means Internet Wardrobe. And the actual reason triggering me to start NetDrobe is actually based on a personal story. So I have some friends, they're all really active on social media and post photos on it almost every single day. It is actually quite normal in my generation. However, I found out a common phenomenon among each of my friends is that they have never been seen in the same outfit twice on social media. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but yes, that's just how social media works these days. Getting caught in the same outfit more than once would be deemed as a fashion faux pas, and thanks to fast fashion, people now have ability to buy tons of apparels with little spending and feel ashamed when they throw away those clothes after a couple of use. But it shouldn't be like that, and that's why I created the website NetDrobe in the hope of solving this current issue. So, before I dive into the details of NetDrobe, let's think about some questions. And first, what is fast fashion? So it is a term to describe inexpensive trendy clothing that samples ideas from the catwalk and turns them into garments in high street stores at super fast speed. So down here below are some well-known fast fashion brands, and they all share the same factors, which are first, low-quality materials where clothes degrade after just a few wears and get thrown away, and second, offshore manufacturing where labor is the cheapest, and third, limited quantity of a particular garment, so with new stock arriving in store every few days, shoppers know if they don't buy something they like, they'll probably miss their chances. And fourth, thousands of styles, which touch on all the latest trends. And finally, of course, the really cheap price. And as we all know, the business of fast fashion is quite successful. But the question is, why are we so obsessed with fast fashion? So first, of course, fun limited. Cause who at the age of 16 has money for a high quality blouse at even £50 when she can buy something similar for £10? And also, young people don't want to buy real leather or high quality boots and have to be careful with them and take care of them. And second, the rise of social media and social network. Nowadays, consumers are continually able to purchase on-trend clothing 24/7. And the most important, people do not want to be seeing the same outfits on social media, therefore reducing the likelihood that it will be worn again. And because of that, people are now opting for cheaper clothes that look stylish and look well in photographs, but are not necessarily durable and can be discarded after a couple of uses. And finally, we can recreate celebrity look in an instant. Yes, it sounds like fast fashion really gives us a lot of advantage, but truly, the negative impacts are much more serious than we've thought. It also turns fashion into the second largest polluter in the world after oil. So what's the impact of fast fashion? I'll just pick some of them to discuss. So first, unfair labor practice. Large corporations and retailers want to keep production costs low and to increase the rate of production. And today, women comprise over 80% of textile workers globally, many of whom work many hours overtime for little pay, and so are child laborers. And also, a lack of regulation makes workers prone to death. And this disaster became the fourth largest industrial disaster in history. And second, increased carbon footprint. So more than 50% of clothes are made from polyester, but this is a really dangerous material because it can emit up to 3 times carbon dioxide than other fibers. It also takes hundreds of years to degrade. And third, water consumption and pollution. Approximately 2 billion pairs of jeans are produced each year, and a pair takes up to 7,000 liters of water to produce. Over 1.5 million tons of hazardous chemicals are used in the production of clothing, and textile dyeing became the second largest polluter of clean water globally. And fourth, health dangers. Clothes are typically sprayed with formaldehyde, which can cause severe allergic reactions, and clothes made from synthetic materials are produced using toxic chemicals. And next, dumping, landfills, and waste. So fast fashion is continuously contributing to mass waste. While 80% of the clothes discarded by consumers could be reused, this typically ends up in landfills. And in the US alone, clothing landfills occupy more than 38,000 Olympic swimming pools each year. And the worst part is that most of these clothes are made from non-biodegradable materials. So, since the issue is so serious, what kind of business and movement have people done so far to solve it? Or, in other words, who is our competitor? So first, global change award. It is actually just a competition aims to help the fashion industry become a circular model where materials can be reused or composted. So down here are some potential biodegradable materials. However, this is tend to be a long-term solution. And second, fashion revolution. It is a global movement to help raising awareness of the issue. And next, unsurprisingly, donation. But here's the fact. We always figured our unwanted clothes would find a second life with a thrifty hipster who would cherish them more than we had. But actually, we're wrong. Despite the rapid rise in donations, today's mass-produced clothing is of such poor quality that even if it's donated, it is often deemed unfit. And also, the flow of Western clothing to developing countries disrupts local economies and puts textile workers out of job. Next is shopping secondhand. However, those methods can only solve the effect, not the cause and the roots of the issue. So the most effective and efficient method is, without no doubt, buy less, choose well, and make it last. So obviously, there's a really big gap in the marketplace. So it makes me think about the question, what kind of business can possess all the advantage of fast fashion while getting rid of its disadvantage? And you know what? It actually makes me think about film industry. Because both fashion and film industry have both glossy exterior and behind the scene dark side, which is waste. So a bunch of props, sets, and equipment is required in film sets, and the majority of them will only be used once and thrown away immediately after the completion of the set. Nevertheless, things started to change. So with modern technology giving us the capability of computer-generated imagery, which is so-called CGI, all we need is a green screen and a couple of props. Thus, final movie nowadays look completely different to actual movie sets. Movie producers no longer need to construct new physical buildings, travel to other countries, and make dramatic and unrealistic costumes. All they need to do is compositing ideas and image all together via computer. The modern technology allows us both eliminating need for excessive and time-consuming set construction and reducing unnecessary waste and dumps. So let's get back to the current issue. Props in films share the same idea with clothes in social media. Both of them will likely only be used once and thrown away immediately after the purpose have been achieved. Well, the technology is able to apply to the film, then what is the difficulty to just apply to a single picture? So we get CGI in film industry, and luckily we get CLO in fashion industry. So it is a software initial purpose is to help fashion designers explore endless possibilities at zero cost with the ability to create unlimited graphic placements, colors, and engineered print layouts. It can also eliminate unnecessary physical sampling and shipping costs by seeing all changes immediately on 3D samples. It brings sustainability into the fashion industry through technology. And CLO Company also hosts the workshop for individual designers and small business looking to learn 3D technology. So all we need is a clothing pattern and we can imitate the real clothes. So down here below is the shirt made by the software and here is the actual real shirt. They look alike and look, all the dresses are all imitated by the software. And I mean it's so amazing because I hardly tell the difference from the real one. Here's the brief introduction of how to use NetDrobe. First, there's a girl who wants to post some photos on social media with the trendy clothes. That's why she visits NetDrobe. When she's browsing the website, she sees a stunning dress. Then, she has a choice to make. She can choose if she wants to buy the real dress or just the simulated one. If she wants the real dress, she can directly visit the fashion brand site by clicking on this button. Or, if she wants to save space in the environment, she can choose to buy the design of the dress by clicking this button. Then all she has to do is send the photo that she wants to be seen in the dress to us, and NetDrobe will send her photo plus clothing pattern to one of our partner animators or Soho workers who is experienced with CLO software and works with the convenience of his or her own time and place. And after combining the dress to the photo, NetDrobe will send it back to the customer. And of course, the background will stay the same. So it's from view to you. So here's the business canvas, and there are all total 9 sections, but I'll just discuss some of them. So in key partners for fashion brands, they will share in the profit we get from our retail customers for letting us borrow their glamorous image, and their clothing patterns. And NetDrobe will provide advertising and market research so that fashion brands can know what kind of outfits are more popular right now, and they can alter the amount of production. And for 3D modeling companies, they will introduce us to their clients for potential employment who are experienced at CLO software. And in value propositions, unprecedented means that we are selling the image for social media status. So it's totally the new kind of business. It caters to a modern trend of people who want to stop sacrificing the environment for their own vanity. So I did some research in order to see how much people would like to use NetDrobe. So in this graph, it shows the numbers of social media users in UK, and we can tell that there's an obvious growth. And in this chart, it shows that 85% of content in social media are visual content. And in 2014, people uploaded an average of 1.8 billion digital images every single day. So from all these three data, we can know that people really rely on visual content right now, and the need is continuously growing in the future. Who is our target market? I have circled and underlined the social media that strongly rely on visual content, and compare men to women, women are more likely to post photos on social media, and this data table shows that from age 16 to 34 are the majority of people who like to use social media that rely on visual content. And in UK, the number of digital buyers is continuously growing, which is good to our business. So this is the target market. And for financial summary, the cost distribution in very first month, we don't have a lot of fixed cost or overhead. Our priority is in advertisements to promote our service. And for traveling fees, I can make those partnership with a fashion brand, and this expense will decrease in the future as I lend the contract. And I have budgets for other items that I may not be aware of yet. And for clothing, we charge 40% of the original price, and out of that, 60% goes to the fashion brand, and of the 40%, 60% goes to the Soho workers, and NetDrobe keeps the remaining 40%. And next, this data table shows the specific numbers of target markets among different social medias, and this chart is our goal for the numbers of people who will visit NetDrobe in the future. So take Snapchat as an example since it's in the middle. So in 2019, in the very first month, hoping that there will be 0.1% of 150 million people will visit NetDrobe, so that equals to 150,000 people. And we project that 10% of visitors will purchase in NetDrobe, that means 15,000 people will purchase, and hoping that each person will have 2 events in the month, so there will be total 30,000 events in a month, as if the average price of the cloth is £130. We sell it 40% of the original price, so that it will be £52. And NetDrobe can get 40% out of 40% of £52, which means we can get £8.32 for one event, and there will be 30,000 events, so the profit in the first month will be about 250,000, and minus the cost, which is mainly for advertisement and traveling fee, so in the very first month we can get total of about 244,000. Finally, I can tell by my heart that NetDrobe will become a really successful business because NetDrobe has so many advantages for all of us. And yes, we people need to stop sacrificing the environment just for our own vanity. Let NetDrobe create the unlimited fashion. Buy less, choose well, and make it last. So this is the end of my business project. Thanks for listening.